Hey man, so a new year just happened. Has happened a few happened an hour ago. I'm actually recording from midnight, and now that it's 2026 now, I can finally make this topic. I mean, am I the only one? 2025 was the longest year of my life. It actually was more obtuse, was more chaotic. It had more random shit than these random online posters I see on my news feed on my laptop every day, every day. So the year has been full of the good, the bad, the ugly. We are mostly the bad, the ugly. Since it started out with my dad returning to us, and me getting a job before my sister got hitched to our long life boyfriend, which I met since quarantine when the coronavirus started. Now, the fact that my family had a restraining order, so that's why my mom, oh my, that's why mom almost messed up my older sister's wedding, and clearly really ended up in prison for like 90 days. 90 days. Now today we're gonna talk about some things we need to leave in 2020, 2025. So first, let's talk about the government. The government literally shut down this fall, and honestly, I cannot even blame Biden this time. So it turns out that a salute of the world's richest man and his government IT almost kind of widespread disease and famine, which makes it how the government has opened after a long 2-month wait earlier this fall or this fall. So after six weeks, the government shutdown actually they finally recovered after President Trump signed a bill reopening the government sometime in November, I believe. Yes, it was on November 13, 2025. And now we're gonna one of the last good things that Trump has ever did for us. Even if I surely despise it, man, I still say F you, Donald Trump, and 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 thank you for helping the U.S. government to reach better heights. Now we're gonna talk about the Italian brain rots. Man, brain rot has gotten worse and worse since it started in 2023. Whether it was AI generated slop and clickbait videos. Now we get these random junk. I mean, when it comes to this Italian brain rot, I clearly don't know where to begin here. If it isn't for these cursed images or these weird anomalies that are full of nightmarish characters. I even went to my niece's one day, and she was singing tralala tralala. And her favorite, and she even draw pictures of other characters like Ballerina Cappuccina Assassino. My niece was drawing these weird characters. And I already recognized them when my niece was drawing these characters on paper one day at the library when I picked her up from school. I've seen all these. I've been watching a lot of these brain rot videos and looking back on this generation and what are these Italian brain rots. Brain rot has gotten so huge I even got trading card games that I once grabbed after taking my trip to North Korea earlier this year. Geez, these brain rots have already messed up the internet, since the whole entire internet is already flooded with AI Federation slop, and now also filled with this. And it all began with this weird wooden creature named Tuntuk Sahur, who was clearly the Italian brain rot, and what started it all. What first began since February, made its debut on February 2023 on TikTok, and quickly became popular this year in 2025. I mean, this and Skibbity Toilet have become the biggest wing mascots of Gen Alpha. So kids will be watching this shit. Yeah, when I was at my niece's classroom one day when I picked her up from school, so We. So if I'm having kids, if the kids watch this shit online today. So if I'm ever having kids, I won't expose them to the internet until they're like 13 years old. Talk about the video games like Nintendo. I actually never had a Nintendo console in my life. All the videos I made in the past, all when I first started the channel, I played those games with other people, like my friends. I don't even have Nintendo consoles. Even if I like Mario, Kirby, and Zelda, I never really wanted to Switch it 2 at all. The Switch 1 was already a perfect console. The Switch 2 may already have these cool new features after all. After its release date earlier this year on June 5th, 2025, a month before my 23rd birthday this year. While the Switch 2, which was well, wait, which once may have taken the successor of the first Nintendo Switch console, this a reboot of a once and Nintendo's biggest life savior is clearly not doing so well. Even how overpriced the console is, and with overpriced games at $80. I don't. Nintendo is at their greedy phase right now. They're just asking for money. Even some people like me who used to have the Switch would not want to buy them anymore. Some people do not want to play video games like me anymore. I'm not even into gaming nowadays. Gaming's not really my actual thing. So I stopped caring about video games, even if I like to draw Mario and Kirby on paper. But anyway, the Switch. Even if the Switch 2 already sold out of the Wii U after 6 months, one Nintendo Switch may have. That's why the Switch 1 was already more successful though, because the Switch 1, because of the original Nintendo Switch launch, the one Switch was already mind-blowingly awesome when it first launched 8 years ago back in 2017. Yet the Switch may have been Nintendo's biggest lifesaver. Even when the Switch 1 launched, it already had much better games like Super Mario Odyssey, Kirby Star Allies, Splatoon 2, etc., etc. Compare that to the Switch 2. The Switch 2, yeah, it was launched. The Switch 2 isn't doing so well. Even when it comes to most Mario titles like the Mario 3D All-Star, the Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze reboot, most remakes on the Switch are not perfect. But hey, I still think the old Switch is a much better console, to be honest. While the Switch 2 may have been failing, it may surpass all of the Wii U sales. Even in the United Kingdom and British, where I was born and raised from, the Switch 2 outsold the Wii U's failure. But I still like the old Switch though, since the old Switch was Nintendo's perfect alternative to reach new heights after hitting a couple of rough patches right here. And finally, the last thing we're gonna be talking about are AI generated slop. Now, you know me. If you've been watching my channel previously this year, you know I'm not a fan of AI. It's my biggest pet peeve of Gen Alpha. In 2025, this year, AI generated slop has now be out making short films. If it wasn't for those cringy, crappy videos on YouTube, people are now gonna use AI to make short films and this is gonna be the future of film festivals. Well, I hope it doesn't, because 2025 was a great year indeed. But now people using AI though. When people use AI though to make film festivals, on festivals just to make short films, it'll not look good, because if you probably seen a lot of videos online, most AI can actually look good. Some AI videos can look good, like those ASMR ones I watch. I got a whole playlist of them that make me fall asleep. But some AI generated slop on here, is not really the cool. Oh, I think. Oh. really cool. Although NFY AI, you know what I mean by all this cursed imagery. Yeah, I'm talking about all this bullshit. Oh shit, you see online. Yeah, you see this? Would you want this to be on your film festival? Yeah, I didn't think so. People are gonna be making all this AI bullshit and send it to film festivals, and people are gonna be winning Annies and Emmy Awards for this bullshit. Man, I guess the future of film festivals are screwed over. Oh man, damn, what has the world come to? I mean, AI may have began as a trend in 2023, but damn, I wish I could go back in time to stop it from existing. But anyway, that would might conclude this video. And I could easily say 2025 was an I5 as a year. As a year was probably a mixed bag of feelings for me, despite all the many challenges I've been through. People beat me up all the time, but we all have good times, and we also talk about the best of times and worst of times, like the Tale of Two Cities when we're 14. 14. Why? Anywho, that wraps up the video, but I won't be making much this year since I will be getting a job sooner or later, eventually in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.